Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to episode 5 of our Soul Reaver 2 playthrough. And you're probably wondering, Fry, we didn't finish off here. No, I unfortunately did almost all of the recording for this episode, and realised just before we got to the last portion, thankfully before I saved it at the final save point, that I didn't hit record because I'm a goofy goober. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to do all this again. I guess the one good thing is the puzzle area that I usually struggle with. I basically completed it thinking I was recording, and I wasn't. So we're gonna skip on past most of these enemies. These are the Sarafan soldiers. We did get a little cutscene to show them. Ow, man. Yeah, we did get a little cutscene to show them. Unfortunately, I saved in that area, so you guys don't get to see that again. But it was basically just Raziel saying that he no longer reveres them or finds them as holy as he once did, because of everything he's seen of vampires in this time, and that they're not just monsters. So he doesn't think they're as noble as he once did. So now we have no problem killing them. That, and there was like this big old field filled with dead vampires on stakes that didn't help.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Audron's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well. For I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
Yeah, now we gotta find our way into the mountain without the ability of using our wings. Luckily, I mean, I already knew how to do this part anyway. It was more so further into this area that I would get confuzzled. But we basically gotta go into the spectral realm, and it opens up a little hole down here for us to be able to go on in through. And then we gotta obviously go back into the physical realm, out with the spectral realm, and then we're gonna be suspended in some water. Little water, and then we head on in. This temple area has two parts to it. We're about to enter the first part. The first part is the easiest part, and obviously the second part is the most difficult part. The part that, oh my gosh, the first time I did this area, it took me, I'm not even exaggerating, it must have took me 3 hours. Mainly because there's this one specific part that I just could not understand what it wanted me to do. And ever since I figured out what it wanted me to do, I've never forgot it. Every time I've replayed this game or played it again, I've never forgot that that's that one thing to do, just because it took me so long to figure it out before. It's kind of like ingrained in my memory. But like I said, I did basically just do the whole thing again off screen, thinking I was recording. So it's going to be a lot easier this time around, thankfully. But now that we got the Reaver, we basically need to go down here, because we got to get these chalices, and like the little chalice thing we saw, and we got to scoop up the blood from the little pool vial things, and then we've got to take said blood to one of the other little vial things and pour it in. And that's pretty much the gimmick of the puzzles for this area. But first we need to blast this open. I always remember being like, why did I need to do that? But it's because, which one is it? No, okay, it should be this way. Because we need to come out here and get the Dark Reaver to stop that little eye thing. you, sir? To basically, obviously stop that little eye thing from seeing us, so we can grab our chalice. And then just grab the blood and continue onwards. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing okay. I am doing good. A little frustrated that I did basically 40 minutes-ish worth of recording. Yeah, I was going to say that should be far enough. 40-ish minutes worth of recording just for it to not be recording. I'm saying 40-ish minutes because I have no idea how long it was. But either way, it was quite frustrating. I just like sat back and was like, really? God damn it! Like, it's just such a me thing to do. I feel like, you know, every YouTuber has done it a couple of times, but I've done this like 10 times by now. Got to have. It's just, I'm just such a silly goose, guys. I don't know why I do it. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. And it happens more than it should. But it is what it is. I do love this game, so to be honest with you, it's not too much of a trouble to, you know, do all this again, because like I said, I do very much enjoy playing through this game, and at least this way for you guys, it's going to be a little, I guess, more streamlined, easier, quicker, in that, you know, you're not going to have to watch me struggle for a few minutes. Because there were moments where I was like, wait a minute, what have I got to do again? But now that we poured the blood in, it creates these little like blood bridges that harden for us to go up, as you can see. And then that's basically the gist of the temple area. It's a lot of making these bridges. But also I love this little corridor area. I love the reflective surface. I love the ice. This game's design, spectacular. And all the updated graphics look great. I mean, when I like stop and every now and then I'll go back to old Raziel, and it just reminds me just how good normal updated Raziel looks now. Especially with his glowing eyes. I love it. I love it. But now we are heading on into the main attraction of this temple area.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry me, this towering labyrinth seemed impassable. The object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp. For here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Audron was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. But I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone held the key to my destiny.
You gotta admire Raziel's determination. But yeah, now we need to essentially find our way up to the top of the balcony so we can finally meet either evil or holy Janos Audron. And, well, I guess find out if he is even alive in this time. But this is the bit that stupidly took me ages to figure out. We've got to hit both of those. Okay, that didn't... Got to hit them at an angle where... There we go. Where it goes through one and hits the other. To lower down a little bridge. And that took me way too long to figure out that that's how I needed to do that. Like I said, this game offers you basically no help when it comes to puzzles. It throws you in an area and it's like, figure it out, what do you want me to do? And that's basically how it operates, which I do like. I quite appreciate the fact that it's like that. There's no hand holding like quite a lot of at least modern games like to do. They like to hold your hand and make sure you know what to do. And, you know, they do, quite often games figure things out, but I feel like it's nowhere near the level of what older games were like. But let's pop this open. I told you, we would be getting soldiers with these little coloured shields to open doors in every area we went, and I was not wrong. I do love that they're always a different colour. Right. Okay, yes. So, this is the first part of it done. Now we gotta fly on over here. We don't have to fly, but it's just a little quicker than going all the way around. So we can grab our chalice and then scoop up the blood in the middle and bring it on over. And again, that's pretty much the gist of this area. Just taking blood from one part, transferring it to the other to create more bridges for us to get further and further up into the balcony to hopefully meet Janos Audron. I do love his name. Such a cool name. I love saying it. Janos Audron. I don't know why. It's just rolls off the tongue, guys. But now we've done our first little spot of blood. And as I say, should open, create a bridge, and then another bridge. I was gonna say it should be to the ear Reaver. I always forget. Like I said, you need all of the Reaver elements that you have collected throughout the game so far to complete all these puzzles. And I always get a little, not confused, but a little like, is that the right one? With this bit, like which one we get first, whether it's the ear or Dark Reaver, I can never always fully remember, but obviously now I see it's the ear Reaver. I believe it's so we can blast open one of the doors. Yeah, literally right in front of us. What am I on about? Literally right in front of our face. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna blast open that door. We're gonna get a little. Oh, there we go. We got a little ear demon boy. Get out of here. Zoop. Right, let's continue on. Blast this open. Bye. I'm gonna quickly make sure there's no more things we're gonna blast open. Aha, yes. Get your booty open. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it for the things we're gonna blast it. We've also gotta shoot those with a little light. Reaver, yeah, the Dark Reaver is above us. Right, let's quickly jump down here because we get to basically create little quick shortcuts up and up and up. Makes things a lot easier when it comes to, you know, changing Reavers and things like that, considering the light Reaver is all the way down here. But now we can just glide on straight back up, no problem, and then we get to go straight up here and so, you know, go all the way around the puzzle bit again. Takes a while. I, you know, didn't, the first time I played through this game I didn't activate that little thing, so I kept having to walk all the way around before I realised what it was for. Because, you know, I'm smart. I'm really smart. Ah, yes. So now, obviously, we gotta transfer the blood once more. Nothing crazy, but you'd be surprised the first time you do this area. Takes you a while to figure it all out, and, you know, trial and error. But obviously, I've done this quite a few times now, and I just finished doing it before I realised it wasn't recording. Joe, I'm a smart man, guys. I really am, I promise. But now we should create the bridge to that. Get ourselves the little Dark Reaver. And I think it creates another bridge anyway. Because I was gonna say, we gotta bring this liquid over to there. Nets us another little floaty air Reaver pocket thing. I don't know what they're called, but they're useful. Right, now we're going to basically grab our Dark Reaver. As I say, we should get these things. But we're going to grab the Dark Reaver. There's a little eyeball dude further on down here. And we've got to shoot that so we can kill one of the little soldiers with the shield. See, he's down there. He's staring at us. Hit him with a blast, just as we can. And further on we go. This is the only part of this area. Like, down here there's no like continuation, it's just grab this, run back. I believe the little eye guy doesn't come out until you've obviously taken the shield and walked a bit further away. Otherwise you'd get sent back into the Shadow Realm. The Shadow Realm? I keep calling it the Shadow Realm. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! The Spectral Realm. Yu-Gi! Ooh, wouldn't let let me move them. Right, now let's fly on back here. And then jump down here, grab the little vials. These bits sometimes do take a little while, just in the fact that you've got to go back and forth, back and forth. But it's nothing, you know, too crazy, nothing too much of a problem. Just a nice little detour, but it does give you, you know, a chance to check out more of the look of the area, which like I said, I love the look of this area. It's not my favourite area or looking area, that's the air temple, like I said last time, but it's still a really neat area, really cool looking. Now we go onwards. Now I need to try and remember what Reaver we need next. I know I just did this, but it can be, you know, a bit of a struggle even now to remember the exact order and what Reavers we need. Yes. We need the Air Reaver for that. Okay. Well, let's go get the Air Reaver first. Down here we go. I was gonna say, it should be right around the corner. Oh, I did talk about this when I was recording earlier, but, you know, didn't save. But, well, let's quickly pop this open. But yeah, I had the dentist earlier yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And, oh my goodness, they are rough, you know. I quite often forget how rough dentists are, but she genuinely has, like, ripped my cheek open. I went there, you know, nice and fine, and now there's like a giant cut on the side of my cheek from where she was like pulling and all that stuff. I was just like, geez, woman, calm down. Why are you being so rough? Like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever experienced that, but oh my goodness, she was trying to get to a broken tooth to fix my broken tooth. But oh my goodness, the level of force in which she was pulling the side of my cheek, I genuinely thought my cheek was gonna split open. I was like, what is going on? You need to chill. You need to relax. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. But obviously, all is fine in the end. All is fine in the end. A nice hefty cut. I'm hoping it heals fairly soon. But I suppose I'll have to wait and see whether or not it does. Right, let's fly on over here. There you are. So basically, just gotta kill this guy, open up this door, and then there is another one on the other side that we've got to open. So we have, you know, like basically a quick. Not quick, but we have access to the pool. This side gives us the chalices, the little scoopers, and then the other side. I swear. I was gonna say, I swear down here is where you gotta go to this. Right, you gotta time this one. Oh, first go me. Didn't expect to get it first try, but. We did it. I did it. I'll take it. So yeah, when you go to the dentist, be careful, guys, because sometimes they're just savages and they rip open your gums. Oh, I wasn't expecting it. It took me so far aback. Oh no, I messed up. Quick. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Come on. No. Okay, let's just drop down. let's just drop down. I'm flying there. Like I said, these shortcuts are so helpful, and I never used them the first time because I am a dumbass. So whenever I fell, I literally had to go all the way back around. Right, let's fly on over this way. I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it. I've just always done this bit this way. I mean, it probably is, but if not, well, now you know a little quicker, easier way around there. You just float on over. But let's open this bad boy up. And then, if I'm remembering correctly, we've got to go down. Yeah. Gotta go down here, grab the chalice, back over here, just scoop up the blood. Like I said, this one has a decent bit of, like, I guess, trekking to get to the things you need, but nothing relatively crazy. It's just chill vibes, chill temple vibes. All this just to find out if Janos Audron is alive or not. Crazy work. Oh, almost went past where we gotta go. No. Scoop this up. Scoop it up. Scoop it up. And then make our way downtown. Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. Whenever I do that, I see Terry Crews. I'm sure everyone sees Terry Crews when they think of that song. If you've seen White Chicks, you think of Terry Crews anyway. God, I love that man. So funny. I was going to say, what is appearing now? But of course it's another little air tornado. And then I believe this is the final, like, level to, like, of the tower spire things that we have to deal with. Right, this way. Luckily, we've already got all these bridges open, because it's basically like an extension of where we just were, but it's like the other side, if that makes sense, because a lot of it is, like, cornered off. Okay, I just went all the way around. Right, let's go down here. Go back up here, grab the chalice. And then we can just walk all the way around. I forgot that because I'd done all that, we basically just get to do it straight away. Let's go grab this. Also, I am kind of sad, guys, because we are incredibly close-ish to the end of this series. We've probably got an episode or two after we finish this, which it makes me quite sad because, like I said, I love this game. This is one of my favourite games ever, and so's the first one, but the second one holds a special place in my heart. Primarily because I played the second one first before I played the first when I was younger. Because I'm smart, and because I didn't have the original at first, but that's fine, that's fine. And there we go. Like I said, pretty much at the top now, so let's open on in and find out if Janos is in fact alive, and if he's good, or as evil as they say.
Janos Audron.
It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt.
Raziel?
My child, what have they done to you?
I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why.
For thousands of years I have waited, alone here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade.
And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them?
I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague.
Why would the Pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires?
The Pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the Pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile.
I've seen them mustering their forces in the village below.
Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short.
Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them.
They fear what they don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them.
Vorador does.
He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them.
Should they be forgiven?
They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation.
So, it's all true then, what Kain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah.
Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps.
I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up. Please, take it away from me.
I fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel.
Janos! No! My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber. Janos had delivered me from the Sarafan, selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius's staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. But it may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess. It seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
Okay, sorry, I got interrupted, and I had a bunch of stuff I needed to do once I got interrupted, so I figured just quickly go ahead and save and then continue the rest of the episode later. But yeah, as you saw, Janos Audron is being attacked. Not good. We need to try and save him. So we are essentially, like Raziel said, in the fire shrine. This is the easiest of all the shrine reavers to get. Simply because I think they probably were like, we just made them do a really big puzzle that was very difficult. So let's be kind and make the next one not as difficult. So all we gotta do is basically we gotta light these torches because we need to bring this fire over to the Reaver altar and activate it that way. And that's pretty much it for this temple anyway, but we gotta quickly climb on over and we gotta light these different little beacon things because they do and activate different things that are obviously needed for us to continue onwards. But let's quickly activate that. That lowers the air Reaver because we will need that later. But it also raises up the light Reaver because we also need that. But yeah, sorry I got interrupted. So crazy stuff going on. We are not unholy. And we do seem to be a vampire messiah of sorts. And it would seem, based on everything Janos just told us, that every vampire the humans kill, the more damage that gets done to the pillars, it would seem. Or at least the original vampires. Such as Janos and the good vampires, I guess you would say. The vampires that aren't from Kain's era. But now that we've activated that, that lowers this down. Which allows us to quickly jump down here and activate this before the water refills, because it will refill. I was going to say, as soon as the light dims down, we hope we get refilled. But this is where, this area, is where I figured out that last time I hadn't been recording. Which, you know, big problem. Bit of a pain, as some would say, but thankfully I hadn't gone to the save point that I saved at. So I didn't have to, you know, because if that happened, I'd have had to replay through basically the whole game all over again, pretty much. And as much as I love that game, doing all that just to, you know, record a little bit, you know, further would have been a giant pain, and it would have taken a while. So thankfully I'm glad that did not happen. But now we got to glide on over here, grab this, no, don't go there. You. Grab this and light the torch here, and then use the air funnels to fly on up. Yeah. But yeah, Janos Audron, he's not evil. He is pretty good. In fact, he seems very nice, which is always nice. I love Janos Audron in this game. He's so cool. I love his feathered wings as well. They're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But now that we've activated that, all of this rises. It rises. And now we need to go back over here. And we need to re-get the light. Ah, no! The water physics in this game sometimes just do not want to cooperate. We need to re-grab the light Reaver and then swim on back over to this part. Can I... the swimming in this game when you're above water takes ages. But yeah, now that we're here, we need to reshoot the light. I missed, yeah. There we go. Need to reshoot the light to lower the water again, and then light this torch, and it should, I was going to say there it is, should reveal the air pockets, little air drafts for us to fly on up. And we need to dodge these little blood waterfall streams, because if we hit them, it puts out our torch, and then we have to get back and do this bit again. I was worried we weren't going to make that then, but that's it. That's the fire shrine done. Nice and simple, to be honest. Obviously, the first time you do it, it doesn't feel as simple, but it is, out of all of the shrines you got to do to get a Reaver, it is basically the easiest, or the most simple one, and the quickest. I also love the little Raziel statue with the Reaver we have there. Right, plunge it in.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
I also love that once we get the Fire Reaver, this lights up as well and becomes all fiery. Super cool, but we're going to quickly save because only you can prevent lost save data. Now, I loved the Fire Reaver in the first game. Unfortunately, in this game, it's really not very useful. You have two uses for it, and one of them is to open this door. And then there's one other use for it, and that's it, unfortunately. You get it so late that there isn't really anything you can do with it, which always kind of bugged me. I think from what I remember, they did have more of this game planned out, but time cuts and the studio wanted it released ASAP, so things have to be cut.
Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you. No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Raziel. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Audron's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Audron's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
So yeah, big heavy stuff, super sad. Janos gets his heart ripped out. Not really good, especially because we basically led them there. We allowed them entry through everything we had done to get to Janos ourselves, and obviously the added sting of it being our human self that did the deed, which is very sad, very sad. It is what it is, though. Like Raziel said, we're gonna go avenge him now.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future. For here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
So yeah, like I said, these are not really because of Kain. They seem to be whoever is trying to stop us and kill us and get rid of us. Well, not get rid of us, but control us and get us to do what they want. But they're not very happy because we haven't exactly been following protocol, or at least their protocol.
Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel.
No, you're not enlightening anyone. You're all gonna burst into flames, unfortunately for you. As I say, there should be another one here. And then with a little fire blast. Okay, there we go, we get him. So yeah, we're gonna be encountering a lot of these little demon things on our way back. They are not happy with us. Really not happy with us. Because obviously we now know what we need to do and what we have got to do, which is kill our brethren for what they did to poor Janos.
The savior of Nosgoth.
I just love that there's like gigantic demon in their area, and they're like, nah, let's go for the little blue guy. Let's kill the little blue dude. He's definitely the bigger threat. But we need to go and kill all three of these little demonic guys. Like such. First we're gonna kill this guy with our normal weapon, just to ensure that we can get a little bit of extra health, because we're gonna need it, you know, we're gonna be fighting a lot of little demon dudes. So let's, there we go. A nice little health boost. Nothing crazy, unfortunately. But let's continue onwards. There's one more little demon dude over here that we need to get rid of, and then the pathway should reopen. Oh, he's already taken care of all of the... Oh, no, there it is. So he's already taken care of the other Saraband. Yeah. Can you just accept that I'm trying to hit you? Fighting them without a weapon is a little annoying. It takes a lot longer. Can you just let me kill you, please? Ow. Ow. There we go. Jesus. That took a while. We ended up losing more health than we gained, I think, but it's fine, it is what it is. Alright, let's keep on going. Is this a... yeah, okay, just jump down here, and more of them. Dudes, there is a gigantic red demon with horns. Why are you going for me? Please. Realize who your real enemy is, please. There we go. I'll hit you with some fire. I don't know if it does anything. Zoom in. Oh, that nearly got us. Right, okay. We are very low in health, so we're going to grab you. Ow. Hit the crap out of this guy. There we go. Got our dodge on. And off with your head. Getting very close to death. This is what I mean by this area. We need all the health we can manage to get, really. Right. Right, man. There we go. Take care of him. Pick this up and kill her with a weapon so we can get her health. Because like I said, these ones are very easy to kill. And they're just like a nice little health boost, basically. I think we're good for a bit. I'm not sure. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I was wrong. There's probably one more big demon. Sorry, got another interruption. Love getting interrupted. But this is a little big dude. Ow. Come on. Oh. There we go, dodge that. Ah, of course. Of course. Ah! No. And get out of here. There we go. Got rid of him. Suck up his soul. And now we need to... Where is the... Is it over here? No. We should have a way to get out of the spectral realm. What? Okay, yeah, we can just... There we go. I was going to say, there should be a way out, but... I don't remember there being a thingy. Right, let's re-equip ourselves with the Fire Reaver. Because I like to use the Fire Reaver as much as possible to get it, because... Spoiler, but we are pretty much at the end of the game. Let's climb up back up here. And keep on heading onwards. But I was gonna say, we should be out of the mountain area now. Back into the fields. This is the field that we would have had a cutscene being like, look at all the vampires they've killed, god damn. But you know me, didn't press record, so here we are. Right, I believe I'm going to be ending the episode here, because we are at the save point, and yeah, next episode is probably going to be the last episode, unfortunately. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. Sorry, there's been quite a few cuts, quite a few interruptions, but there's not really a lot I can do about that. But regardless, I hope you guys did enjoy, and are excited for the basically the finale, which will be next episode. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys hopefully in the final episode or next video in general. Bye.